Well, it's going to feel like 100, as Ben's been telling us, even hotter in some parts of Kentuckiana. The nighttime temperatures won't be bringing much relief. WHAS11's Taylor Woods and photojournalist Emma Gefter are live right now tonight. They've been talking to folks about the summer heat wave with a reminder about the major dangers in this heat. Taylor, what'd you learn tonight?
Well, Doug, people I spoke to say they're not letting these scorching temperatures ruin their fun. In fact, they're doing everything they can to safely enjoy these outdoor activities while avoiding heat exhaustion and heat stroke.
Free music under a tree, so we're in the shade a little bit.
The blazing heat isn't stopping concert goers from attending Waterfront Wednesday, and WFPK staff say they're prepared for the hot temperatures.
We've got plenty of hydration stations here, and we got about 30% of our space is shaded.
Temperatures are expected to be in the high 90s alone this week, with the heat index over 100 for a prolonged period of time. Jefferson County Public Schools have canceled all outdoor athletic activities for Thursday afternoon. Rumpke Waste and Recycling crews are being scheduled earlier hours to pick up trash before it gets really hot. However, Waterfront Park attendees are trying their best to beat the heat.
It's a little hot. The breeze helps a little bit. Staying hydrated, drinking a lot of water. This is full when I started. It's half empty now.
James O'Bannon and his wife Luann Davis packed plenty of cold water. They're just happy they picked a perfect spot on the lawn.
We're pretty comfortable, but we got here early enough to get under a shade tree, so that really is going to help.
A Norton healthcare doctor says it's important to not stay out in the heat too long.
Definitely be more cautious and take breaks under the shade and make sure to stay hydrated throughout the day. Even if you're not feeling thirsty, it's good to take sips of your Gatorade or your water or fresh fruit.
That's what WFPK staff members are doing.
And we're just making sure we're hydrated, taking our time, and working smart and slow.
The heat and humidity causing some to delay their fitness activities.
Because it's going to be like 100 degrees. So in the evening, it's probably going to be 80, nice and enjoyable, and just enjoy the outside then.
And as always, we do want to remind you that your car can turn deadly in this type of heat just in the matter of minutes. We've had tragedies where parents and caregivers have forgotten that small infants and children are sitting in the backseat of their cars. Reporting live in downtown Louisville, I'm Taylor Woods, WHAS 11 Nate team on your side.
Taylor, thank you very much. And Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg and the National Weather Service, along with emergency officials, are going to be holding a news conference tomorrow to talk about the heat. And we have resources, including warning signs for you to look out for in your family and pets in these high temperatures. We've got it all posted for you at WHAS11.com. More news here tonight. It was a frightening several seconds in front of network TV cameras today as Kentucky Senator Mitch McConnell freezes and stops talking, just staring ahead. During the news conference, it took a few moments for the other people in the room to figure out what was going on.
This week has been good bipartisan cooperation and a string of
Mitch McConnell, who is 81 years old, had just stepped up to the podium today to deliver remarks about the National Defense Authorization Act before trailing off. He paused for about 20 seconds, staring blankly before eventually being escorted off. We contacted the senator's office today, and they told us Mitch McConnell told an aide that he felt lightheaded and he stepped away for a moment. We do want to let you know that he did come back a few moments later to handle questions and answers, where he told reporters he was fine. It was this March when he fell hard at a Washington, D.C. hotel and suffered a concussion. Louisville's Norton Healthcare is now facing a federal class action lawsuit in connection to what Norton called a cyber event from earlier this year. The lawsuit alleges Norton maintained private information in a reckless manner and failed to take the steps to secure it. Plaintiffs argue that their personal information, including names, addresses, birthdays, social security numbers, and financial information, has been stolen by hackers, putting them at risk of identity theft and fraud. In a statement, Norton Healthcare said they intend to vigorously defend themselves against litigation, but they do not comment on pending litigation. Well, Louisville has a permanent police chief now, and in an interview with WHAS 11 News today, she's now promising that Metro Police will become high profile again like they were 3 years ago. But all of us are most concerned with the extreme violence in Louisville. WHAS 11's Isaiah Kim Martinez and our chief photojournalist Philip Burrell showed her one recent video that tells a frightening story.
few videos evidence Louisville's violent crime problem more than this surveillance footage from June, captured and given to us by Vendome Copper and Brass Works, a local business in Butchertown, showing young people with guns firing at will down the street.
Have you seen this video before?
I have seen the video before.
We showed the video in person to Jackie Gwynn Villaroel, the newly named full-time LMPD chief.
We're trying our best to identify those individuals. The division commander put together a plan in order to address that particular area.
Now her department to lead, a week removed from the announcement, Chief Gwynn Villaroel is detailing specifics to WHAS11 News on what we can expect to see moving forward.
You're going to see increased visibility from our folks. We're doing walking patrols. We got our horses out there more, got ATVs.
So you're saying there will be increased patrols?
Absolutely.
In specific areas or?
Specific areas, wherever the need is, you'll see that.
There's a renewed call from many in the community for more officers patrolling the streets, given the persistent crime plaguing just about every district. Gwynn Villaroel promising new initiatives.
What does community policing specifically look like differently?
Being more intentional about how we engage the community. So what does that look like? We may have a Meet Your Beat Officer Day, where the community can actually come in and meet the beat officer that's serving your community on a regular basis. Now we got a face, we got a name, we're having a conversation, and so now when I see you in the grocery store, I'm able to wave more freely. When I'm driving down the street, I'm able to stop my car and say, how are you doing? Because now I've had some interaction with you. We have to do that.
We also talked about the Department of Justice report. Gwynn Villaroel will be part of the negotiations with the feds to determine the terms of federal oversight LMPD will work under for the foreseeable future.
And so the DOJ is going to have their proposal. We're going to be able to have ours and look at how we can come in the middle and make an agreement that is going to benefit the department, but also to benefit the community.
Police agencies across the country warning other police departments to narrow the scope of reforms in the contract.
Are you willing to push back, though, to make sure it isn't too much for your department to handle?
We're willing to push back on those things that are just not going to help us to be successful. We want to make sure that we're negotiating the things that we can measure and that we can actually complete. That is the goal.
Isaiah Kim Martinez, WHAS 11 Night Team, on your side.
Her ambitious plans will take more officers being put on the street. LMPD right now has a new class of 31 cadets currently going through the police academy. In March, that number stood at 22. Even in the face of that Department of Justice investigation, a bigger number looking to be LMPD officers. A man is dead and 2 people have serious injuries after a crash on Dixie Highway late this afternoon. Police say at about 4:30 today, an SUV was heading towards West Orrell Road when another SUV pulled out right in front of it, causing the crash. Both the driver and the passenger of the SUV attempting to cross the highway were taken to the hospital, where the passenger died from his injuries. The driver is listed in critical condition. The driver of the SUV traveling on Dixie was also taken to the hospital with serious injuries today. We're now learning more about the suspect shot by St. Matthews police in the Anchorage neighborhood yesterday. According to police, Bernard Higgins barricaded himself inside his home as police from St. Matthews and Anchorage attempted to arrest him on domestic charges and outstanding felonies. According to the arrest citation, Higgins was armed with a knife and told officers several times that if they came in, they would, quote, go to heaven along with him. He's now charged tonight with assault and terroristic threatening. New tonight on the night team, city crews are hard at work filling potholes and smoothing out streets across Louisville. It's your tax dollars being spent. And today, Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg thanked Public Works crews for their work so far this year and highlighted the 2024 paving budget. It is worth more than $37 million for Louisville. The budget will also go towards paving and sidewalk repairs, bridge and structure repairs, downtown street lighting, and enhancing the pavement.
It is their commitment to allowing budget for paving that allows us to accelerate our paving schedule and really attack our long-term paving goals. It's going to help keep our streets safer and also preserve our infrastructure so that we get the best use and the longest use out of what we're putting in.
Public Works crews have worked on almost 135 miles around Louisville since January, getting closer to their 200-mile goal for this year's paving season. It was 1 year ago that eastern Kentucky was overcome with historic flooding, destroying hundreds of homes and displacing hundreds more people. Now, the flooding was catastrophic and sudden. A reported 8 to 10 inches of rain fell in just 48 hours over the mountain counties. People in Letcher County were left waiting on top of rooftops for help. 44 people died and hundreds lost their homes. Kentucky National Guard members reflecting on that day.
It was a flood like I'd never seen. I've been doing this for 16 years now.
We were getting phone calls from people who had lost touch with their loved ones, and they were just trying to make sure they were okay, so we were fulfilling those health and welfare checks.
More than $40 million in FEMA grants have been approved for more than 5,000 households in eastern Kentucky.